Hello. Welcome to the Yes Prep Virtual College Fair. We are so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Becca Russo, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type out your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. And the presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/yesprep. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Bennett College. Thank you so much and take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to share my screen. Cool. So my name is Taylor Atkins. I'm an admissions counselor at Bennett College for Women, which is located in Greensboro, North Carolina, the heart of Greensboro, North Carolina. We are in a really great central location. We are 5 minutes from downtown Greensboro. We are one of 2 all-women's historically Black colleges and universities in the entire United States. So it's a really great program. I'm also a recent graduate of Bennett, so that's very exciting for me. So we have what we call 21st Century Bells. This is a really great program for our recent graduates who are celebrated for the work that they do out in the field post-graduation. It's on our YouTube channel, as well as some of our other presentations and different formal events and informal events that we host on campus if you want to get a better feel for the campus and the campus environment and just different activities that we're able to host both in person and virtually. So why Bennett? Bennett is an all-women's college, but we are renowned for our intimate, engaging learning community that produces phenomenal women scholars and global leaders. Our student to faculty ratio is about 7-to-1. We are a micro college, so that means we have less than 500 students who attend classes, live on campus. So it's a really great intimate learning environment where you're able to get to know your professors are able to get to know you, all of those fun things. We are activists who care about people, community, and equality. We have a very robust student civic engagement, community engagement. Community service is one of the core tenets of being at Bennett. It's actually required for graduation to be a student leader on campus, to do different clubs and social organizations. It's a really integral part. So we care about not only the Greensboro community, but the international community as well. We have a very robust global studies department and Center for Global Studies. We've sent over 200 students to 54 countries, and we actually have a passport scholarship for our students to be able to receive their first passport. Our smallness is our strength. We are where the girl you are meets the woman you'll become. We are an all-women's institution, but Bennett, being such a small environment and intimate learning environment, is able to allow students to embrace who they are and embrace their individuality and become strong leaders outside of the classroom. Be bold, brilliant, and boundless. And then find your voice, find your strength, find yourself. College is all about figuring out who you are, what you want to do, and how it can impact the world. And Bennett is a really great place for that because we are encouraging students. We want to hear student voices and student experience. You aren't just a number. You are very much an individual, and we want to know more about your experience, both in the classroom and in the different clubs and organizations you join on campus. Quick facts, we do have a 7-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We have been an all-women's college since 1926. We have a state-of-the-art TV and photography studio for our journalism and media studies students. It's absolutely amazing. We are the first African-American female president of any 4-year U.S. college, was Dr. Will Beatrice Player. We have a robust global studies program, like I said. Greensboro, when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was in Greensboro, Bennett was the only place that allowed him to speak. So he actually spoke on our campus, and we have an audio recording of when he spoke to our JMS students, and that's in our archives, which is really fantastic and a great asset to us. And then we have memorandums of understanding, so partnership programs with other schools and universities in the area, Pfeiffer University, Winston-Salem State, the American Language Academy, as well as others. Some notables, we're top 10 HBCUs that are rising, a top 10 producers of doctors and scientists from HBCUs. We have the top ranked global studies program. We're about the Love Scholar, so Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Tiffany Scholar Program. And then we are #1 top performers on social mobility from the most recent US News College rankings. So that's really amazing for us and for our students. And that's across national liberal arts colleges. And so this is a direct quote from our current president, the 19th president of Bennett College, Suzanne Elise Walsh. Bennett is a place where we help our students to learn how to be successful, how to navigate a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. We're on Zoom. We're doing a college fair completely virtual. So that just shows you the kind of like the world that she's talking about and how things are changing and how Bennett is at the forefront of that change and helping students be able to navigate those situations. All of our students currently on campus and commuter students receive laptops for this academic year, and they're able to use those for their classes and be able, as opposed to not having a laptop or having to go to like public spaces and libraries and community libraries, students have access to the resources that they need to be successful in a hybrid environment. Okay, and then we have 2 academic divisions, but you'll hear more about that later. If you have any more questions, leave them in the chat, or you can visit our website. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Bryn Mawr College.
So hi, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So glad you're able to join us today. My name is Kayla Hamdani. I'm one of the admissions officers with Bryn Mawr College, and I'll tell you a little bit more about exactly what Bryn Mawr is. So Bryn Mawr College is a selective liberal arts college for women of around 1,300 students. We're located in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, just a short train ride from such an amazing city, Philadelphia. So your opportunities academically and socially truly are limitless. So Bryn Mawr is a place where women claim an education. Often when we ask our students about what their experience was like when they were looking for colleges, if they were looking for a women's college, many of them say that they weren't. Many may say that they were interested in Bryn Mawr because of our rigorous academics or because of the community. But after being here and experiencing what this environment is like, they say they would actually choose Bryn Mawr all over again because it is a women's college. So we're also a liberal arts institution. Students are truly encouraged to explore their interests and passions, and our core curriculum takes an innovative approach. So we don't have traditional requirements such as Math 101 or English 102. Instead, we have our approaches to inquiry, which I encourage you to search on our website to learn more about. These approaches help you develop vital and transferable skills. They prepare you to live in a global and diverse community, and often many students find a major, a minor, or even a career interest through taking a course to meet one of the requirements. Our students are really challenged and engaged with the coursework in and out of the classroom. They love the access to research, strong bonds with faculty, students, and alumni, and top-tier partnerships that we offer. Our most popular majors are mathematics, psychology, English, bio, and computer science. And I really find it important to list the top 5 because of the fact you see a nice combination of STEM as well as social sciences, arts and humanities. Our students really do take advantage of a variety of courses. And again, I think that's a benefit of a liberal arts institution because you're able to explore the different interests. And because of the smaller class sizes, you have access to the research opportunities, whether it be in a STEM course or an English course. So I really do encourage you to explore liberal arts institutions when it comes to studying these different areas. So student learning and engagement goes beyond Bryn Mawr's campus. We're also part of an active consortium with Haverford College, Swarthmore College, and the University of Pennsylvania. So taking advantage of these opportunities expands the options that you have academically, socially, and professionally. You also find that 77% of Bryn Mawr students will complete at least one internship in Philadelphia or beyond during their time here. So we're also in close proximity to Washington, D.C. and New York, for example. So you may see students deciding to take advantage of during an internship, or maybe just traveling there during one of the breaks. Our Career and Civic Engagement Center also has $750,000 available in summer funding for students. So let's say you find an internship that is not paid for, we will provide you with some type of funding to help get you through the summertime. So that way you're not having to choose between a job and an internship. We also offer more than 20 combined degree programs, and this allows you to earn your undergraduate and your graduate degree in a shorter amount of time. So we have connections with institutions all over the world. If that's something that may pique your interest, I encourage you to search combined degree programs on our website. We have connections with, of course, Bryn Mawr, University of Pennsylvania, Boston University, and the list goes on. We also offer more than 90 pre-approved study abroad programs, and all of the fees for study abroad are covered through your tuition and fees. So you don't have to pay anything in addition. We like to say that our students are leaders because at women's colleges, women's leadership is not the exception. It is the norm, as I'm sure you'll hear from many of the institutions you're listening from today. So at Bryn Mawr, every position of power and opportunity is available to women. This goes from our Self-Government Association, which is actually the oldest in the country, to research opportunities and internships. Our students are truly engaged in problem solving and affecting change. Students come from diverse backgrounds. 43 of the 50 states are represented on our campus, and more than 20% of our students come from other countries outside of the United States. Also, more than 25% of our students self-identify as students of color, and around 15% of our students identify as first-generation students. So here go some key programs. I know time's a little bit limited, so I'll just briefly go over each one. Thrive is a first-year course, which is a 10-week seminar for all first-year students to help get you acclimated to the college and college as a whole. Recognize the transition to college looks a little bit different for first-generation students. So there's also the Thrive course specific for first-generation students. So that way you feel comfortable being in an environment to ask questions. We have something called Tri-Co-Philly, which is a partnership with Haverford College and Swarthmore College that gives you the ability to take courses in Philly, as well as experience some of the co-curricular activities offered as well. Like I mentioned, we have traditional study abroad, but we also have something called the 360-degree course cluster. So you're taking a cluster of courses that look at a specific theme with different students. You then go on to travel with that group of students and professors to really apply what you were learning in the classroom. So that is a smaller example of travel. Perfect timing. I actually encourage you to take a picture of this screen so that way you learn more about the admissions policies, contact information, as well as our social media. Thanks so much for listening.
Thank you. Next up, we have College of St Benedict, St Joseph's University.
Right. I'm going to share my screen. And I need to present it, but I will present myself introduce myself before I start with the presentation. I am Paula Popoca. I am an Assistant Director of Admission at the College of St Benedict and St John's University. We have a pretty unique partnership that I will talk a little bit more about as we're kind of going through the presentation. I will first focus on the College of St Benedict and telling you more about the resources that we have to offer here, and then I will expand to talking more about the partnership that we have with St. John's University. So as I mentioned, we're the College of St. Benedict. We're located in central Minnesota. So when you fly into Minnesota, you get into the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, which are the two largest cities in Minnesota. And from there, our college is about an hour and a half northwest from there. So central Minnesota, you can see on the map here. We have all 4 seasons here. So in the summertime, it's hot and humid. In the fall, it's about 60, 70 degrees out. All the leaves are changing colors. It's a beautiful time to be outdoors and do kind of like those Instagram worthy pictures. And then in the winter time, which usually spans from December until about end of February time, it can get kind of chilly. There's snow. But that just allows for the opportunity to engage in outdoor activities, which are really fun, anything from ice skating, sledding, skiing, snowboarding, all that fun stuff. And then within our campuses, you're able to do all of those things as well. So definitely a great opportunity if you are kind of looking into schools that are more kind of outdoorsy, but we definitely have the option for students who you're coming from a larger city. So definitely still have the ability to kind of visit those larger cities and take part in that sort of way. I will move on to talking a little bit more about the history of St. Ben's, or the College of St. Benedict. So it was originally founded to educate marginalized and disenfranchised young women. And at that time, that meant daughters of German immigrants and farmers. So we've always kind of had this history of being welcoming and trying to expand that education to all. The experience at St. Ben's and St. John's, or St. Ben's, what you're going to get is that you're provided with the space to really work on your identity and emotion. We're making sure that you have a space that's centered on serving women and providing experiences that have value and meaning for our students. We advocate for women's issues. So for women and women's issues, we seek to end institutionalized sexism and all that kind of stuff. And you really have that opportunity, even within our own campuses, to make sure that you're getting that experience so that when you go out into the real world, you have the tools that you need to continue to work towards those issues. And we really work hard to develop leaders. So I will move on to our next slide, where I really go through a variety of different organizations that you can take part in at the College of St. Benedict to really help you develop as a leader and make sure that when you get out into the real world, again, you're using those tools, those skills that you learned at your time at St. Ben's and applying them to make sure you're giving back to the community and you're being a role model for not only other students, but in the community in general. So programs and organizations at the College of St. Benedict, we have an Institute for Women's Leadership that really puts on a lot of programming related to women's issues, advocacy. They have different training sessions that will go on. We have a St. Ben's Senate, which are pictured on here. Just again, really making sure that the voices of students are heard across campus, making sure that they advocate for student needs and all that kind of stuff. We have Advocates for Inclusive Mentoring, which is a mentorship program specifically for women where underclassmen are connected with upperclassmen and making sure that your transition from high school to college is going well and that you're connected to the resources that you need. We have a program called Benedict and Friends where you're partnered with a sister on campus who ultimately kind of becomes like your grandma on campus. And they put on different programming. They have like cookies and bread and like coffee and all that kind of stuff. We do have scholarships specific for women. So women in leadership and women in STEM, each are $5,000 each, and they're renewable for the course of 4 years. And like I said before, we have a unique partnership with St. John's University. So St. Ben's and St. John's are about 10 minutes apart from each other. And as a student, all the women are living on the St. Ben's campus and all the men will live on the St. John's campus. However, you do use the campuses interchangeably. So you're taking classes on both campuses. You can use dining facilities, athletic facilities, libraries, all that sort of thing on both of our campuses. So that really does set us apart from what a lot of other women colleges are. If you have any more questions about that partnership or anything that I shared, definitely share it in the Q&A. I will also Q&A section, but I will also provide my email. Send me any follow-up questions. I'm happy to help with what I can.
Great, thank you so much. Up next, we have St. Mary's College.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. So my name is Colleen Schubert. I am an admission counselor at St. Mary's College, and I'm also a proud alumni. I graduated in 2016, and I'm excited to share some information with all of you here this morning. So just a brief overview about St. Mary's. We are a smaller institution. We have roughly around 1,600 students on campus, and we actually have the majority of our students coming from out of state. So some of our larger out of state markets include Texas, California, Florida. You can see we have students coming all up and down the East Coast and throughout the US. So it's nice knowing that you will definitely meet students coming from all over the country and the world. We do have 6 countries represented on our campus. We also have 22% of our students who identify as students of color and 27% of our students who are first generation. Since we are a smaller institution here at St. Mary's, what that means is that you are going to get a very individualized and personalized educational experience. We have a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of 16. So what's nice is you really are going to benefit from the discussion-based learning that we have here on campus and really being in those smaller class sizes where you get to know your professor. We have over 50 academic programs that our students can choose from. Some of our more popular programs include nursing, education, business, communication studies, psychology, anything STEM related as well. We do have a dual degree program with the University of Notre Dame, a unique speech language pathology program with a 4-1 offered for a master's as well, and a student design major offered on campus. So as you've heard from the other amazing institutions that are here with you all this morning is that we're also a women's college, and there are a lot of amazing benefits that go along with being at an all-women's college. You know, it's not that mean girl scenario or competitive catty environment or anything like that. It truly is a very supportive environment, a place where our students really get to thrive in the classroom and outside the classroom. And just be in that very empowering and confidence building environment where you get to be yourself, pursue what it is that you're really passionate about, and again, gain that support that you may be looking for. You can also see here that women who go on to women's colleges are more likely to complete a graduate degree versus women coming from public universities. And women who go to women's colleges feel more prepared for their jobs than women coming from public universities. I think a lot of that truly is the confidence that our students are building during their 4 years. They know that they can go out and be successful in those programs that they're applying for and in the jobs that they're getting after they graduate. And there's a lot of opportunities available to our students on campus. So while our students are St. Mary's students, they are very much part of a tri-campus community. We are located right across the street from the University of Notre Dame here in South Bend, Indiana, and next door to Holy Cross College. So our students are welcome to engage in both campuses. Our students can take courses at Notre Dame starting their sophomore year. They can get involved in the clubs and organizations. Between St. Mary's and Notre Dame, there's a little over 500 clubs and organizations our students can get involved in. You can go to the dances, social events, sit in the student section for all the home Notre Dame football, basketball, hockey games. So what's nice is you can get all the benefits of being at an all-women's college while still getting that big school experience and that co-ed experience. That's something that you're looking for. Along with that, we are a Catholic institution. We were founded by the Sisters of the Holy Cross in 1844. So if you're looking for a place that you're really going to get to grow in your faith and spirituality, you can very much get that here at St. Mary's. It is not required to be Catholic by any means to be on our campus, but just know if you're looking for those resources and opportunities, we have them. Along with that, we are a service-oriented student body. We've got roughly around 80% of our students participating in service opportunities of some sort. We're also an NCAA Division III athletic school. So we've got 8 varsity sports that our students can get involved in. And then we also have our students really going and exploring the world. Study abroad is very popular on our campus with around 50% of our students studying abroad at some point. So you can see there's a lot of different opportunities outside of the classroom that our students can really get involved in. So a little bit of information about the admission process. Just know that we are members of the Common Application and our application is free. You can see all of the requirements that we have here on the screen. One thing I want to note is we are a test optional institution. If we have any juniors or sophomores in here with us today, just know we will continue to be test optional over the coming years as well. So this is not just a temporary thing on our campus. We do have our early decision deadline coming up on November 15th and our regular decision deadline coming up on February 15th. One thing I just really want y'all to know about our application process is we do take an extremely holistic review approach when it comes to reviewing the applications for our students. So we really do take everything that you send us into consideration. At the end of the day, when we admit students, we want to ensure that they're going to be successful for 1 year or for all 4 years, not just for 1 year. And that's really the mindset that we have here in our office when we're making those decisions. So here at St. Mary's, we do work incredibly hard to make the education that you'll receive as affordable as possible. We do have 100% of our students receiving financial aid at St. Mary's. All of our students will receive a merit-based scholarship that ranges from $20,000 to $34,000 and is renewable all 4 years, going straight towards tuition and fees. We also have St. Mary's institutional grant money, campus employment opportunities, and any student loans to the FAFSA. We have 91% of our St. Mary's students graduating in 4 years. So just know that's something that you will be able to do here. And you can learn more about our 4-year promise online. And we are consistently ranked among the top national liberal arts colleges here in the US. We are number 47 in best value schools. And we have we're in the top quarter of nursing programs from US News, World and Report. Can check out some of our events here. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Last but not least, we have Scripps College.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'll share my screen. My name is Kyla Fisher, and I'm an admission counselor at Scripps. I'm also a recent graduate from the class of 2021, so I'll be sharing a little bit about my own personal experience, but mostly talking very generally about Scripps. So some quick facts. We were founded in 1926 by Ellen Browning Scripps, who was a philanthropist and journalist from San Diego, California, who worked with the founder of Pomona College to create this idea of the Claremont colleges. Together, we're 5 undergraduate schools in Claremont, California, which is about 35 minutes east of downtown LA. And we really function as a consortium. We're all across the street from one another, and students can take classes, join any of the 300 plus clubs, and go to the various school events on each of our campuses. So you get kind of the women's college experience at Scripps and the co-ed experience within the Claremont colleges, and you don't lose the benefits of either experience. At Scripps specifically, we're just over 1,000 students, but within the consortium, we're just over 6,000. Something that's really great about being in Claremont is that you're really close to LA and you're close to the outdoors. So regardless of what you'd like to do in your free time or with your friends, you can do all of that either in Claremont or in our surrounding areas. For academics, we have a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and our average class size is 16. For me personally, most of my classes are around 10 to 12 people, and the largest class I was ever in was about 22 people. So you really do get the opportunity to get to know your classmates and your professors, and we have a strong emphasis on collaboration and communication. So students are really engaging in discussions on a daily basis, regardless of what kinds of classes you're taking or what your major is or how high of a division it is in rigor, but you really are communicating with each other, learning from each other, and able to share your own perspective or ask questions to the group or to your professors. We offer over 60 majors, 50 of which are based at Scripps, but there are also just over a dozen programs that exist at the other Claremont colleges that don't exist at Scripps. And Scripps students are welcome to major in any of those departments. You actually don't need a Scripps major to be a Scripps student. So if you find your home at Scripps and you want to be a Scripps student, but your academic interest exists somewhere else, you're more than welcome to have both. A majority of our students are interested in multiple things and want to study multiple philosophies or majors at Scripps. About 28% become dual or double majors. I was one of them with psychology and theater, but students often accidentally pick up some minors just by taking classes that they're interested in and accidentally meeting those requirements. We offer a pretty well-rounded education, and students are jumping into multiple different departments. So we're not exceptionally strong in science and kind of forget the humanities or vice versa. Students really do have the opportunity of jumping into any of our departments and finding faculty, resources, and funding in each of those areas. A hallmark to the Scripps academic experience is our core program. It's a 3-semester interdisciplinary course that students start in the fall of their first year and finish in the fall of their sophomore year. CORE is really teaching students how to be Scripps students, how to engage in the Scripps classroom, and also be introduced to a number of people within our community. So Core 1 is a course that the entire incoming class takes together. It's taught by about 15 or so Scripps professors from different departments who decide on a centralizing theme and then teach a lecture to the entire class on how that theme ties into their field of study. Students will then meet into smaller discussion groups with one of those professors and about a dozen of their classmates to really engage in interdisciplinary learning and learning how to tie in all the lectures that they're hearing and the reading that goes with it, and find the commonalities between them. In Core 2 and 3, students pick a specific course that they would like to take, and you dive a little bit deeper into interdisciplinary learning on a singular subject or a cluster of topics to really get acquainted with diving into a subject and seeing all the avenues that it can go into. You really get to see how a student's own perspective and personal interests tie into the classroom, and really mold it into what it is. For campus life, there are a lot of things happening at Scripps and at the Claremont colleges, and a majority of what a student is doing in their free time is going to club events, and most likely for clubs that they're not a part of. There are also a number of events that are hosted by each school that students are welcome to join in on. And each school has its own traditions, and one that's really popular at Scripps is Wednesday afternoon tea. So that happened yesterday, and our dining hall brings out some sort of dessert and tea, and students can converse with each other, get to know some people in the Claremont community or at Scripps, or grab free food. It's entirely up to you, but it's a space that students can really come to and be a community. We can also study abroad. There are over 120 programs for students to choose from. Scripps doesn't plan those programs. We partner with other schools to allow students to do a lot more than what Scripps could personally provide for them. And the entire experience is covered by Scripps. So your financial aid package carries over and your family continues to pay whatever you've agreed to pay. For research and internships and life after Scripps, students will most likely be going to our Center for Career Planning and Resources, where they can get individual counseling or go to workshops for the entire Scripps community. That's really where you get to see the women's college experience, where it's all tailored to our needs and our interests, making sure that there are salary negotiation workshops so students can work to close the gender pay gap, specialized seminars and counseling to make sure that students are getting the attention that they need, and access to the resources that are interesting and relative to them. So with that, leave you with a screenshot to something that you can screenshot to connect to our social media accounts or to my email, but hopefully I'll be getting to some questions in the chat. Right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, one more quick little fun piece of our presentation here. So I'll invite all the counselors to hop back on your cameras. What is one thing you want students to remember about your school? And we're going to go in order of presentations. So Bennett College, if you'd like to start.
Ooh, there's so many things. But I would want students to remember that Bennett is a place where you can find your voice, find your strength, and find yourself.
Love that. Bryn Mawr College.
So I would want everyone to know how important community is, and it's actually shown by the fact we have the oldest self-government association in the country. So community is really important. Our students are actively making change and affecting change on campus.
Very cool. St. John's University.
Yeah, definitely community is really big on campus too. One thing that I will add, a lot of our students are engaged in multiple different activities around campus. So if this is something that you've done in high school or looking to explore when you get to college, a lot of them will stay occupied with internships or leaders as part of the organization. And they're really mentored from everyone on campus. So whether that's a professor, a staff member, I know the presidents will even put on certain hours where students can drop in and ask questions. So no one is unreachable on our campus.
Wonderful. St. Mary's College.
Yeah, one thing I just want you all to remember is that here at St. Mary's, you are really going to be gaining that support that y'all may be looking for through our very supportive and tight-knit community. And we are a place that you really are going to be able to pursue what it is that you're passionate about, find your passions, find yourself, and then discover how you're really going to get to utilize those passions in the world around you.
Scripps College.
I definitely talk about our community. I think that's something that draws in most people when they're looking at Scripps, and how supportive and collaborative it is, where students aren't competing with one another, where they can really learn from each other. I always like to say that when you walk into a Scripps classroom, you really have 15 professors and not one, because everyone's equally likely to teach you something that day as your professor is. And our professors really want that kind of interaction as well. So they're really making sure to facilitate conversations where students can voice their opinions and their perspectives with their peers.
Wonderful. And let's do one more. We got a little bit of time. Whoopsie. So what is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process? And we'll start with Bennett College again.
The college admissions process, that it's long and complicated and drawn out, and that you're doing it alone. You are not doing it alone. You are not the only person applying to these schools. You're not alone. Admissions counselors at each individual school you're applying for are there to help you and support you. Your family, your friends, you're not doing this alone, and you can do it.
Love that. Bryn Mawr College.
I think one myth that was even debunked today is that you saw all of our faces on camera. Us as admissions officers are real people. We're not robots reviewing your applications. So we really do encourage you to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you and help you throughout this process.
Yeah, very good point. College of St Benedict, St John's University.
Kind of building off of the previous two answers. I know, I mean, just in general, the college application process can be confusing, but then it comes to applying for financial aid. Please know that there is very little that you can do to get like anyone like on your case about things. So make sure that like, as you're going through, you're asking questions. Know that like no one's going to come after you if you answer a question incorrectly. Like, please rely on like your college admission counselors, your counselors in your high schools. We're here to help you through all of this, so you're not alone.
Mm-hmm. St. Mary's College.
Yeah, similar to what everyone else has spoken about, hopefully you've seen that we're not scary people. You know, we truly want to help you throughout this process. That is what we're here for. So there is no such thing as too many questions. There's no such thing as reaching out too much. We want to help you throughout this process and really try to make this as less overwhelming as we know that it can be for students. So just know that we really are on your side and we really are here to advocate for you and help you, you know, through any questions that you have.
Perfect. And Scripps College, last but not least.
I'd say to really like try and have fun with your application, especially if there are supplemental essays for any of the schools that you're applying to, definitely for Scripps, but really take that time to enjoy what you're talking about and not be so consumed with trying to seem impressive, but the most impressive thing you can be is yourself. So really let that shine through in your supplemental essays, especially.
Very, very awesome points, everybody. Thank you so much. So this is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check back on the schedule, sign up for more sessions, and you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all other session recordings at strivescan.com/yesprep. Thank you so much to everyone for joining, and especially to our panelists for presenting, and have a great rest of your day.